Hi, my name is Maddie, and I'm a paranormal enthusiast.
And my name is Kay, and I don't really know what I am. I can do a bunch of... I'm a jack of all trades, I guess you would say. I have a little bit of psychic tendencies. I have a little bit of mediumship. I'm able to do a bunch of different little things, like I can hear people's thoughts. I can see and speak to spirit. I don't know what else I can do. I just can do a lot. I'm just on the spot right now. So I don't know. But through this, the point of this podcast is, Maddie is a enthusiast, and she's always wondering what my mind is thinking, but like can never handle it whenever I actually lay it on her.
Nuh-uh.
Like full out panic attack mode.
No.
So we're gonna have this podcast so that we can see things that aren't something in our daily life. And I'll give my honest opinion on it. And she's an enthusiast, so she's just gonna enjoy the ride.
And if you hear any background noise, it's because of our ferrets.
Yeah, our ferrets are out playing right now, so they may be in the ball pit or anything like that. So if you hear that, that's them. Sorry, guys.
Alright, so I've made a list of what people would probably be wondering as something that I wonder as well. I know a bunch of the answers to them, but I wanted to make a list to let people know what you know.
Okay.
So the first question is, what is it like being someone that can see into the spiritual world?
At first it was really scary. Whenever I was younger, the first experience that I ever had was I was playing hide and seek with my cousins, and we were at our Uncle Joe's house, and his foundation was being redone. And so whenever your foundation's redone, there's a bunch of like huge holes all around your house. And they're like, 5-6 feet deep.
Oh, wow.
And we're playing hide and seek, and I'm trying to hide, and I hear like this little kid's voice go, "Psst, down here. Psst, down here." I'm like maybe 5, maybe 6 years old.
That's crazy that you can remember that.
And I look down, and it's this little boy in like bibbies.
Mm-hmm.
What are those actually called?
They're overalls.
Overalls, yeah. Bibbies, sorry. Overalls. And he has a white shirt on, and then he has his bibbies over them. And he didn't have any shoes on. And he had kind of like an Amish haircut.
Oh.
He was blonde, and he was down in the hole. So I jumped down in the hole to go see this little kid that I've never seen before. Don't judge me. I was 5. And he wasn't there anymore. So then I'm stuck in this hole because I'm, 5-6 years old. This hole is 6 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
5 feet. I was just small. Trying to wrap my brain around, how to explain that I got down there. And nobody believed me when I told him about the little boy until my Uncle Joe actually found out that house that he had used to be a foster care place where kids used to live.
Oh, wow.
So it was pretty interesting. That was my first ever experience. My eyes got closed after that until about 15 or 16. I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was a guy hanging in my closet. And since then, they've kind of been blown wide open. So it's overwhelming at times. It's rewarding at times. I've helped a lot of people and just freaked a lot of people out too. So that was a long answer, but I'm sorry.
You're okay. So I don't know if you would know this next question. The question is, how did you end up having this gift?
I don't know. I don't know how you acquire a gift like this. I remember having it from a young age. Mm-hmm. So maybe born with it. I don't know.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe. I don't know. I wish I had more comment on that. I don't know. That's a good question, though.
So, are there different levels in the ghost world? I don't know if that makes sense. Things that are more powerful, or...
There's, like, the dark, the medium, and then, like, the angel. But, like, I guess I don't understand what you're asking. Like, different levels. I mean, there's different kinds of spirit.
Yeah.
So, like, there's, you know, going from the worst to the, you know, the lightest. There's, like, the demons.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's things that kind of want to be like demons. Then there's, like, people who are neutral, nor bad nor good, just kind of just there. I don't know. And then, you know, you go towards the good stuff, like the angels and stuff, and, you know, your guides and stuff. Most of the things that I see are just, like, the people who may have been stuck or need to relay a message. Wanderers.
Like the in-betweens.
There's a lot of wanderers too. Like, they don't even need to relay a message, or they're just wandering around.
Do they know that they're dead?
I don't know.
Or-
I haven't talked to them. They're just wandering around.
Oh, they don't try to talk to you?
The wanderers?
Yeah.
No, these are the people that I'm like. Remember how I'm always like, man, I hate driving past cornfields at night because there's like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, those are wanderers. They don't talk. They're just there walking around. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they want. They're just
purpose?
there.
No.
Plain. I don't know. And then there's the people that actually, once they realize what you can do, they'll come to you and be like, hey.
Or
like,
try to relay a message.
Yeah. So, like, supermarkets, just driving by. I mean, the one day we were going to, what was it, Thanksgiving? And I got that message. John messing around with the stuff, and I went and asked Julie. I was like, you know, this is going to be a really
in
weird
the
question. But are things being moved around your house? Like, that's kind of like how it is. It just comes to me instantly.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I go and I ask about it, and it, like, you can tell when you hit a nerve when somebody's face flushes and you're like, shit, I did it again. I was
Or goes
right.
like pale white.
Yeah, when their face flushes.
Oh, sorry.
Because then I'm like, shit, I hit a nerve. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I was right again.
Yeah.
And it freaks me out when I'm right. Like, sometimes I just want people to be like, no, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I could be like humbled a little bit.
Yeah.
But like when I say something and their face flushes and they're like, yeah, that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, shit. Like, I hate when I do that.
I listened to the podcast / the other YouTube channel called Ghosties, and Nat had asked what the difference is between full-bodied and see-through apparitions. I previously messaged and asked you this when I was listening to that episode.
Oh, that was when you texted me when I was at work.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what I replied to you, but like, whenever you see things, at least in my experience, it's what they want you to see. So, like, and how much energy they have to be able to give you, like, that sight. Because to actually manifest yourself in front of somebody takes a lot of energy. A lot of the messages I get are through, like, visuals in my mind they can send me. It's very rare that I see actual full body or even, like, apparitions. But when I do, I jump. It's been a couple of times that I've seen, like, the apparition side of things, and then there's been a couple times I've seen full bodies. And I'll go through the difference. So, like, one day, I used to have roommates, and all of our rooms were basically, like, right by each other. And my one roommate, Amy, was going to bed, and I was going to bed, and I was saying goodnight, and I opened the door to my room, and this white orb went all the way from the ceiling in front of my face down into the ground, and I jumped back and I looked down because I thought it was a drop of water. I thought the ceiling was linking, and the floor was dry. So I turned around and I said, did I just see something? And Amy was like, what are you jumping for? Like, I was like, I swear, like, water just dripped from the ceiling to the floor, but the floor's dry. And that, after I thought about it, I was like, oh, that was an apparition. It was an orb. And then that's happened to me again at this house. But I knew what it was. So I've seen that twice. And then that's just, like, spirit that is just kind of, like, they have energy, but not a lot of energy to, like, manifest the way that they want to manifest. So they're just, like, they're just super quick. Flashlight, basically.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah, basically. Hey, I'm here. Nice to see you. Full body apparition. I've only ever seen like the full body apparitions when it's actually something bad. I don't know. I've never seen like full body apparitions with my own eyes when it was like anybody good.
Is it because they have like a lot of energy?
I don't know. I think that like, and you know, the bad things are like sucking from your energy too. So like, maybe it is like the energy thing, and like it's a scare tactic too.
Yeah,
if you're
definitely
scared, they're taking more energy from you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there used to be a full body apparition that would stand in my closet every night and look at me. And I got to the point where we just kind of coexisted. Like, I'd be like, hey. Like, not actually like, hey, but I would just ignore it and go to bed.
I was like, hey, you again, whatever.
Yeah, hey, what's up, bye. Like, but it became a problem because I didn't necessarily notice it, but everybody around me noticed that I was changing. I was getting irritable. I was, not in the best mood. And it all came down to the fact that, my energy was being taken from me when I was in my room alone, also sleeping. So I've only seen full body apparitions in bad situations. I haven't seen them in a good situation yet, so I don't want to comment on it because I haven't experienced it yet.
So when you say angel, do you see them like, how do you see them?
So angel, like how I told you, like in my mind, like I can see them and like relay the messages that they want to relay to me because it's super quick. Sometimes you gotta ask them to slow down because you just get a bunch of images, and you're deciphering them. And then you either get, like, a yes or no that you understood it right. And then sometimes you're going to be like, whoa, slow down.
Yeah. I just didn't know if it would be, like, the same as dark entity.
The dark entity?
Yeah.
But no, they don't just, like, stand here and they're, like, come down from the ceiling, like, oh, this is what I want you to see. Like, no, it's not like that at all.
A glowing light around them.
Yeah, no, it's not like that at all.
Okay, so next question is, what is your relationship with death? Since you can see what comes after, are you still fearful?
I used to have really bad anxiety about death and dying. And it was actually around the time where that thing was standing in my closet. I was getting ready to denounce God because it had somehow just like convinced me that I was just kind of like here and there's nothing else. But I'm literally staring at it like, okay, then what are you? But like, I don't know, it was like gaslighting me, I guess. I was definitely gaslit by a ghost. I used to have really bad panic attacks, and Amy and I would actually stay up at night and talk about like death and dying. And I would tell her, like, I'd be having a panic attack, rubbing my chest and stuff, like, I'm scared to die. Like, what if there's nothing after?
That is so crazy, because you can literally see.
I was gaslit. I'm telling you, dude. I was gaslit. I could see it. Like, I know that there's something after. So it's like, to be at such a low to where, like, you're just like, okay, maybe there isn't.
Yeah, maybe I'm just being delusional or whatever.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, that's probably the craziest time that I've ever had. Now, 2025, I've gone on crazy healing journeys, religious journeys, I've had a lot of stuff going on. I actually learned that the thing that was standing in my closet was like kind of like a leech. It was like taking from me. I think my mentor Ku called it a stronghold. The one night that thing left me, Ku was there, and I had given her some chicken Alfredo, because I had made dinner that night, and I was like excited because I cooked. So Ku came over really late at night. It was like 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
And
you don't see her coming out that late anymore.
I mean, she would. I don't think she had work the next day or something. I don't know what was going on. She just came over, 10 at night. She might have felt like I knew. Yeah, maybe she knew I needed help. I don't know. She never said. And she took a bite of the food, and then we sat down and we were talking. And I was telling her that I was going through a hard time and that, I'm depressed and, I'm feeling all these emotions. And I'm getting ready to talk to her about not believing in God. And I had this, knot in my throat. I couldn't say it. Mm-hmm. But as I was trying to say it, my whole body got cold. And my stomach dropped. And Koo was across the room from me. She jumped up and ran and smacked her hand on my head and started praying. And she stood like that, and I sat there, and she said, "Close your eyes." And she was just praying over me for like 10 minutes. And I didn't understand what was going on, but I could feel like this weight come off of my shoulders. Mm. It was the craziest thing. Once she finished praying for me and took her hand off of my head, she sat down and she said, "I haven't seen something like that in a really long time. Your face was turning black." Mm. And she said that there was a stronghold attached to you. And I said, "Koo, I was just getting ready to tell you I didn't believe in God." And that was the night she introduced me on how to, use and contact angels to have help and to basically, have, a bubble around you.
For, protection.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't even know what the question was, but...
It was just what your relationship with death was.
Yeah. Well, after that, that's when I started to not be afraid of death. Mm. I didn't have that anxiety anymore. Because I knew, God was with me. Yeah. It was like a turn of a corner. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Well, next question is, what is the number one ghost story from your life that you will always remember? I don't know if this goes hand in hand with your first memory of ever having a ghost experience, like you were talking about, the child in the overalls.
It's hard because I have done so much. Some of the things that I've done are kind of blurry because when spirit speaks through me, it's just kind of like a very quick thing, and they're speaking through me, so I don't really remember a lot of them, which is why I've started writing it down. Mm-hmm. I think one of the most memorable ones is whenever we went to go visit your uncle in the graveyard.
Yeah.
And when I was sitting there and I kept telling you, hey, there's, girls here, there's those girls here. I had no idea what happened. You hadn't told me anything. Mm-hmm. And I was they died in a car accident. And then, that one girl, I think her name was Carly.
Yeah.
She had followed us the whole day, relaying messages.
Yeah.
And you had ended up, calling your mom, and your, not even 3-4 days later, your mom saw Carly's mom in the drive-thru and relayed those messages to her mom.
Yeah.
And, from what I understand, her mom, needed to hear those things. So that was probably the most memorable, one, because, you see the trickle-down effect.
So, backstory, back in 2020 when I graduated from high school, in December of that year, two of the girls that I went to high school with in the same grade, I grew up with Carly since probably kindergarten or whenever she moved, if she did move, and we grew up. I was never close to her, but we grew up since then, and in December of that year, a few days after her birthday, they ended up sliding on ice and getting in a car accident and passing away. No, it was not a few days after her birthday.
It was before Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve, which is terrible. So terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, next question is, are heaven and hell real? What actually happens when you die? Do you know?
They are definitely real. Yeah, they are definitely real, I'll tell you that. When you die, you have to go through, like, this transformation process. I call it a life review. You basically re-experience your whole life and the point of view of everybody else and yourself so that you understand and you become like an all-knowing being. You get help through that. I mean, you have your ancestors and everything that'll help you. And then depending on, the trajectory of your life and what's supposed to happen, you either reincarnate or you don't. If you're done, you're done. You experience everything you needed to know. And you kind of just, become one of those, I guess, like, we would consider as, like, a guardian.
You've called them all-knowings before.
Yeah, because you're an all-knowing spirit. That's it. I guess there's not really much to say about that.
I guess I don't need to ask you this next question, because it's just basically about, so you've told me that you've seen angels before, tell me about that, but we have been going back and forth with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely come out of the ceiling and go, oh, hello, Kay. Bright light and everything.
Halo and everything. Well, I guess another question on that, are they biblically accurate, or are they like...
like their faces and stuff?
Yeah, like 6 wings.
Well, they present in the way that you're most comfortable with them seeing them, so, they definitely aren't, like, they're not human.
Definitely not.
No, but they can present to be human because they know that you can't handle what they actually look like. So...
Yeah, I feel like I'd poop myself if I saw one of those eyeball creatures.
So, yeah, they present to where you're comfortable. So, they're not trying to spook you or anything.
Yeah. So, what are the differences? I know you don't like talking about them, so we'll just ask one question and move on from there. What are the differences between shadow people and demons?
Ugh.
I know. I'm sorry.
I hate talking about any of them because it's like fuel to a fire.
I know. I'm sorry.
But shadow people are individuals or spirit that, are like dark in heart. That's what was standing in my closet was a shadow person. It wasn't a demon. It was a shadow person. They come around like just bad situations. And they just haven't taken a soul. So like
Want to be demons.
They want to be a demon, but they haven't taken a soul, so they can't be a demon. That's the difference. Demons, take souls. And they're both awful, but that's all I want to talk about.
Okay. Well, from there, how can you protect yourself from, dark entities like that?
Honestly, if you're feeling unwell, mentally, probably just seeking help for that, or like, understanding that you're not well, because I was notorious for just like never asking for help. I'd just be like, oh, well, this is a phase, it'll go over. And that's how I ended up with the shadow person in my closet. So...
I do that a lot.
Well, yeah, and I tell you, hey, you need to, like, get your shit under control because...
Yeah.
And just being a loving person, if you're going through a hard time, protecting yourself with Ephesians 6:6, it's the armor of God prayer. It allows you to have the grace of going through a hard time and the protection. Just being aware that, you are in charge, and all it really takes is, just protecting yourself with prayer, with just being aware of how you're feeling, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, and acknowledging it. And that's about it. If I find out other ways, I'll let you know.
Well,
Palo Santos.
Yeah, I was about to say, we use Palo Santos.
I don't really like using sage. I've always preferred Palo Santos. I think it smells good. And I think it's much more powerful than sage.
You told me that sage attracts.
If you use it wrong, yeah. There's no wrong way to use Palo Santos. It's literally holy wood. Like,
Well, in my last question, I guess, if it is a question, what would you suggest to others?
Others, like what? Others like me, or just others in general?
Both, I guess. Others in general, and...
I want to hear what you guys consider yourselves. Because I do a little bit of everything. Like, Maddie's always like, stay out of my mind. Because she'll be thinking of something, and I'll be like, oh yeah, let's do this. She'll be like, stop it. So I can do that kind of stuff. I actually just triggered not too long ago, like, accidentally talking about past lives. And telling people about their past lives.
Oh, you only done that twice.
I don't know how I do it, but it's really weird. And I can get pretty deep into detail.
Well, you've only done that twice. That was with Mama Dukes and then me.
And you, yeah. I can see and talk to spirit, obviously, relay messages. I don't know what the heck I am, so anybody that can do what I can do, just, can you let me know what you call yourself, because...
I just thought of one question. What is the scariest thing you've seen?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, one of mine is that little girl from the Kids Bop concert.
Yeah, she was freaky. She had nothing there.
Yeah, nothing behind those eyes. She kept getting in our faces, and then...
Yeah, I don't want to talk about what I've seen that has been
Scariest.
super scary, because I don't want it to, like...
manifest.
I don't want it to feel like it can come back. So.
I get it. That's how I am after nightmares. I'm like... Either you or my parents, like, when I was younger, they're like, you want to talk about it? No. I don't want to manifest that into the real world.
Yeah, so I don't really... Yeah, I don't... It's a good question, but...
Maybe for another day.
Maybe for another day I could talk about that, but... Right now, no thank you.
I understand.
Any question for any of the listeners, just tell me what you think. Have you experienced anything spooky? Send in your stories. We'll read them on the podcast.
Yeah. What is your scariest moment?
Yeah. Your scariest moment or your goofiest moment. If you've ever got a message, come on.
Yeah.
We'll share your messages. Just let us know if you want your name used or not.
Well, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and stay safe.
Adios!
Bye!